Trump dared Obama to an IQ test, but just 31 seconds later, the world went silent. One question, one answer, and the look on Trump's face said it all. You won't believe how fast Obama flipped the script. It began on a bright afternoon in Washington, D.C. The air buzzed with the usual energy of reporters shouting over one another, cameras flashing from every direction, and that familiar glint in President Trump's eyes, the glint that always meant one thing: he was about to make headlines. "Let's be honest," Trump began, pointing toward the press crowd with his trademark confidence. "Everyone talks about how smart Obama is, but I'd love to see him take an IQ test with me. I'd win easily," the crowd chuckled. Some thought it was a joke. Others weren't so sure. Trump continued, "I'm a smart guy. I'm very consistent. I'm a very stable genius." The laughter faded. His tone wasn't playful. He meant it. Within minutes, the clip was everywhere. Twitter exploded. Hashtags like IQ test challenge and stable genius trended worldwide. Memes flooded the internet, half in mockery, half in awe. Trump reveled in the chaos, retweeting posts of himself crowned with glowing letters spelling genius. His aides looked uneasy, but Trump only grinned wider. Hundreds of miles away, on the calm shores of Martha's Vineyard, Barack Obama scrolled through the headlines. He chuckled softly. Michelle leaned on the doorway and smirked. "Let me guess, you've gone viral again." Obama smiled. "Apparently I've been challenged to an IQ duel." When she asked if he'd respond, he said, "Maybe, but not the way he expects." A few days later, during a virtual education summit, a moderator asked the inevitable question, "Mr. President, any thoughts on Trump's IQ challenge?" Obama leaned forward slightly, his calm presence filling the screen. "If the president wants to measure intelligence," he said, "I'm happy to help, but maybe we do it the right way. Live, transparent, moderated by experts." The audience laughed, but not mockingly. It was a different kind of laughter, one of respect. The internet lit up again, but this time the energy shifted. Calm confidence began to trend. People admired Obama's poise, the ease in his tone. Trump saw it, of course, and he wasn't about to let the spotlight slip. "Let's do it," he declared on live television. "Live on air, the biggest IQ test in history." And just like that, the stage was set. The world was hooked. 2 presidents, 1 test, one moment that would define them both. The night of the event felt like history in motion. Crowds filled the streets outside the National Press Club. Signs waved in the air, brains versus bravado, wisdom versus noise. Inside, 2 desks stood under bright lights, cameras surrounding them from every angle. The atmosphere was electric. Trump entered first, confident, waving to the audience like a showman entering his arena. Obama followed moments later, calm, collected, his quiet presence commanding the room without saying a word. For the first few minutes, it felt like entertainment more than intellect. Quick riddles, simple logic puzzles, polite applause. But then came the question that changed everything. The moderator cleared his throat. "A family has 3 daughters," he read aloud. "Each daughter has 1 brother. How many children are in the family?" The timer started. 31 seconds, Trump's brow furrowed. He grabbed his pen and began scribbling furiously. 3 daughters, 3 brothers, that's 6, he said confidently, sitting back with a smirk. Obama paused, took a breath, and thought. Then quietly he said, 4. The green light blinked. Correct. The room froze. The silence was heavy, electric. Then the applause began. Quiet at first, then growing, wave after wave. In that moment, the scoreboard told the story. Obama, 9 out of 10. Trump, 4. But numbers weren't what mattered. What people remembered was composure. While Trump rushed to speak, Obama had chosen to think. That clip, those 31 seconds, spread faster than any political moment in recent memory. Teachers played it in classrooms. Parents told their kids, "That's how you stay calm under pressure." Comedians replayed it on late-night TV, calling it the quietest knockout in history. One host joked. The first question was, "What's similar about a grape and an orange?" Trump said, "They're both types of soda." The crowd roared. But even through the laughter, something deeper lingered. Respect for the man who didn't gloat. Who didn't need to? Obama simply posted one message on social media. Wisdom isn't about knowing everything. It's about knowing when to listen. That single sentence became a movement. Teachers wrote the riddle on whiteboards. 3 daughters, 1 brother. They told their students, this isn't just math. It's patience. Even international headlines picked it up. French media called it a masterclass in composure. An Australian anchor said, the world just saw intelligence in motion. Indian newspapers printed Obama's quote beside a photo of him smiling, true intelligence doesn't shout, it listens. Meanwhile, Trump tried to reclaim the narrative. The stable genius, he tweeted, has once again reared his head. So good-looking and smart, a true stable genius. The internet laughed. The memes wrote themselves. Weeks later, during a university Q&A, a student asked Obama what he thought of the whole event. He paused, smiled, and said something that would soon be quoted around the world. We all get tested eventually, not by what we know, but by how we act when the world is watching. That one line became legend. It appeared on posters, classroom walls, motivational videos, and even in speeches by world leaders. Because in those 31 seconds, the world saw something bigger than an IQ test. They saw the difference between noise and thought, between reaction and reflection, between pride and wisdom. Obama's victory wasn't in the number he wrote, it was in the silence that followed. It wasn't about being right. It was about being calm. It wasn't about beating someone else. It was about mastering yourself. In the end, that moment became more than a viral clip. It became a symbol, a lesson that echoed far beyond politics, a reminder that intelligence is not about how loud you speak, how fast you react, or how often you win an argument. It's about grace under pressure. It's about patience in chaos. It's about knowing that silence, when used wisely, can echo louder than power itself. The 31-second lesson. A tale of composure versus ego, of thought versus noise, and one simple truth that will outlive the headlines. True intelligence doesn't shout, it listens. And so, in just 31 seconds, the world learned a timeless truth. Greatness isn't measured by how loud we speak, but by how deeply we think. Intelligence isn't proven by winning arguments. It's revealed in how we handle silence. That day, Obama didn't just answer a riddle. He reminded the world that calm is stronger than chaos, that grace can outshine pride, and that wisdom will always speak, even when it whispers. Because in the end, true power doesn't roar. It thinks, it listens, and it endures.